Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Sheila Beela coming to you with another episode of Sistas, Season 7, Episode 17. And I hope you all had a great Valentine's Day. I mean, if you did, if you didn't, it's cool. I just hope y'all had a great day in general. Chair, I had went out with my husband and we went out to dinner, came home, chair, before I knew it, I woke up. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. I said, I gotta do this. I said, I gotta do this review up here. Child, jumping up and down. But anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, so let's get on into this episode of Sisters. I think it's the scandal of it all. Something about a scandal. I'll put it down there in the comments. Yeah, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe if you do get anything out of my content. The more and more you hit that like button, the more it does go through the algorithm and more people will start to view my content on the road to 5,000. Dang, it's been taking me a long time to get to 5,000 views. I need to post more videos. If y'all got any suggestions on videos that I should review, let me know because yeah, I feel like I can add I'm gonna do Bold and Bougie, that Carlos King show that comes on tonight. So I'm gonna review Bold and Bougie. I do review Love and Marriage DC if y'all watch that. And then Sisters, and I didn't even do the Sisters trailer like I normally do. I forgot all about it. I thought I did it, but I guess I didn't. But anyway, y'all, go and check out my old videos. Love and Marriage DC, of course, Sisters, and I'm gonna do Bold and Bougie. And if y'all have anything else y'all think I can review, let me know. Put it in the comments. All right. So now that that's out the way, let's go ahead and get into the scandal of it all. So the episode picks up where it left off with what's his name? Gary and Tamara. Chad, they was kissing. I said, so y'all still kissing? But anyway, so they kissing. Hayden walks in the room, and child, they look like they've been kissing. You know how you gotta straighten up your clothes? You can be natural. You ain't gotta be so doing all that dumb stuff. Like y'all look like y'all been kissing. Anyway, so they come in. Hayden walks in, and as he was walking in, Gary talking about he like bad girls. I need a bad girl. Y'all see that on the Super Bowl. Get at me, bad girl. Anyway, so he chipper. Hayden is chipper. So he's talking about the office, talking about he want to be partner. He can make partner. He don't bring any trouble. Like pretty much everybody in the office like him. The only problem he has in the office is Andy. Andy is the problem. So I guess that was Tamara Q to get up and take the dishes and go on in there and wash them or whatever. Or put the dishes away in the dishwasher. Whatever she gonna do that's so domesticated. And Hayden talking about, look at you all domesticated and all. Ooh, yeah, and all that stuff. And Gary just kind of looking like, yeah, I just been kissing her. Anyway, so he talking about he gonna be on a boat in Dubai and all this other stuff. And Gary is like, listen, I think you need to take your time with that Tamara girl. I was like, why? Because you want to take your time with her too? Anyway, and then he brings up when there is mistrust in a relationship, then there is no more he says there's no more, I guess, sex. YouTube don't let you say certain words, or if you say them too much, they'll kind of strike your channel. So I be trying to be cute when I say the words. The love and sex be lost and all that stuff. And so Hayden like, right. And I'm like, and then he gonna turn around and say, yeah, because she'll end up in the arms of somebody else. I'm like, who? You, Gary? She was already in your arms. And then he wiping off his mouth. That's why I got this picture there. Because look at him. Don't he look like an old sneaky snive and little devil? He gonna, boy, I hope her breath stank. But anyway, it didn't, because you called her later on talking about you couldn't stop thinking about her. But yeah, so here go Hayden. Facts. I was like, but he getting your girl though. You talking about facts. Anyway, so later on, I guess everybody leave because I watched it off an old janky version of YouTube. So they leave. I didn't see Penelope no more. I guess she went to the bathroom and never came back. Maybe they showed them leaving. I don't know. But Hayden and Tamara, they get to talking, right? And so Hayden is like, I may be the wrong person to ask you this, which you are, but do you think you can really trust Gary? Well, apparently Hayden and Gary been knowing each other since college. I didn't know that. I thought they just met. So he says that he has always been selfish and he's been knowing, him. He's always been that way. And he also says that he believed that Penelope, she ain't no saint herself. She putting on too. And Tamara just like, oh, okay. But at the end of the day, she said, so do you think he can help you make partner? And he was like, yeah. And so they don't want to talk about all that. And they end up get the kissing. So when they get the kissing, she envisioning Gary. So that's why I put this picture over there. Because I was like, so you over here kissing Hayden in the face, but you thinking about Gary. Already off of a kiss. Child, that must have been some good sugar. Because the way y'all acting, child, I guess Gary must got something going on. He got these girls running around here crazy. Anyway, so that's that. So now you have Rich and Sabrina. So it is Sabrina's. Is it still her? Well, it is her birthday. They going out for dinner or lunch or breakfast. Child, I don't know. But anyway, so they out. And Rich is sitting up here telling her like how much he likes her, and that Rich means a lot to her. How Rich means a lot to how Sabrina means a lot to Rich. And then Sabrina gonna turn around and say, yeah, you mean a lot to me too. I was like, he do? How does he mean a lot to you? I'm confused. And then he continues to say like how she's a breath of fresh air and how she's always supporting him. I was like, well, you got your reasons for liking Sabrina, but Sabrina, do you really got your reasons for liking him? Like, and then that's the thing. I feel like this shows that we do have new writers, because it's almost like the girls are settling to me. Even though they had this whole episode last year about them finding themselves who gonna support them, but in the same scheme of things, it's like the girls are really settling, because then she brings up her freezing her eggs and he over there don't want to talk about it, and she's trying to figure out how would he feel about that. And when it's the best time for her to freeze her eggs 2 to 3 years from now, and he's just like, oh well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm like, well, y'all need to talk about it now. Matter of fact, at the end of the day, Sabrina, you really don't need to be talking to him about it no way, since you know he don't want kids. And then she's like, so, and then what if I do have the baby? Are you going to stick around, and are you going to love the baby? I'm like, girl, is he going to stick around? Why would he stick around for a baby that ain't even his? That's dumb to me. Like, why would a man stick around knowing that you finna go freeze your eggs, have a baby without him, and he still stick around? Maybe he don't want the attachment to the kid, but why would you still stick around? I think that's stupid. Yeah, my girl, she finna go have a baby by a sperm donor, but I'ma still stick around. That's stupid. And I don't even want kids. I guess the oxymoron for me. But he not really want to talk about it, and Sabrina is going on and on and on. So she's going on, and then the man comes up with the candle birthday, talking about how old are you and all this other stuff. So that's pretty much how that ended. But I was just like, girl, what you think him sticking around for your baby and not his, and he don't even want kids? Can you leave? Anyway, so now you have did I skip some? Oh, I did. I did skip something. But anyway, so Andy in the office, I didn't even get a picture of this. Andy is in the office, right? And so when she's walking in, white lady receptionist comes up to her and was just like, hey, and Mrs. Barnes, are you okay? So Andy is clueless, because apparently she left her phone with Jordan the night before. So she looking like, what are you talking about? So when the lady leaves, then Hayden walks up and gonna call her Olivia Pope because of the scandal. And she's just looking at him like, what are you talking about? So now Fatima comes across, Fatima come running across in them hills, child, talking about Andy, are you good? Have you heard what's been going on? Andy is confused. Like, she like, what is really going on? Fatima talking about it's all over the blogs, and then Fatima shows Andy the headlines, and it says candidate Jordan Williams has been accused of relationship with an underage girl. And then Fatima like, did you know anything about this? Andy was like, nah, because when I spoke with his PR team, they said that his background was clean. And she talking about she done dated the man for 4 months, but Fatima was like, child, you dated his representation. And Fatima's like, and yeah, I want to let you know that everybody in the office knows and they talking about it. And so, you know how Andy do. She get to doing all that crying and stuff like that. And then, you know, Fatima is like, well, if you need me, let me know and all of that. So as that's over, you got Pam and you got Karen. So Pam, you know, she's an influencer, right? She talking about Rooster Riches. Y'all know y'all wrong in them comments talking about Karen, talking about Pam gonna burn all them girls' hair out. Y'all know y'all wrong, but child, low key, high key, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I hope him don't get no lawsuits off of this stuff while you over here talking about Rooster Riches. It's gonna be scalped to none. Anyway, so Pam over here talking about, you know, she got a surge in orders that she need to get taken care of. And she frustrated because she like, child, I'm working while I'm at work. I mean, well, she happy, but she still frustrated talking about she working while she at work. Karen, on the other hand, is like, I can't believe you like you really doing this. Like, you need to be really working around here. This is like a conflict of interest. And then Pam was like, well, shoot, you know, them books are thin. I'm trying to help us make some money around here. But I'm like, Pam, them books wouldn't be thin if you wouldn't be taking out of company money, which I thought Karen told you don't use the money no more, but you turn around and use it anyway. So, I mean, it is what it is. And so then Pam brings up the whole scandal about what's going on with Andy. And Karen don't know. She just like, I didn't know anything was going on. So she picks up the phone. Ah, yeah, Pam like, girl, he's some type of killer, predator. I don't know why. I don't know why that was so funny to me. She talking about, girl, he's some type of killer, predator or something. I said, you know how black folks, child, we be making up our own stories. It don't be, I mean, I get killer anyway. So, Danny is like, well, now, you know, and now she haven't heard about it. And Pam was like, well, I sent it to your DM. So she go and she look at it, and then she ends up calling Andy. Andy don't answer the phone. I was like, yeah, she not answering for you because she got her own problems. So now you got Danny and you got Tony. Danny running up, Tony running up on Danny like, so is this the only way I could talk to you at work? I was like, the Negro, calm down. Calm down. And so Danny just over it. She was like, you know, you didn't let me know that you had kids, you know, the whole razzle dazzle about her not knowing that. Well, not the fact that she didn't know that he had kids, it's the fact that she didn't know that the kids were going to be there while during the summer or whatever, when the mama got deported or whatever. Because at first he made it seem like she was just going to be there for the summer or something like that. But then later on, he was like, he didn't know because she got deported. You know what? Maybe I'm wrong. But at the end of the day, she didn't know that the kids was gonna be there. And apparently Tony said it was a spirit of moment type situation. Whatever. So Tony just like, well, you knew what it was when you signed up for this. You knew that he had 2 kids. And then he said, you know what? Unsubscribe, unfollow. He was like, oh, unsubscribe, unfollow. Yes, unsubscribe, unfollow. I'm not trying to be doing all of this. And then that's when Tony says, you know, I didn't know that, you know, his ex-wife had got deployed. She's in the military and he didn't even know. And so Danny is like, but the first time I met up with your kids, they asking me, are my titties red? Them your titties? Child, kids ask the darndest things. But Tony is just like, look, I told you what was going on. Danny, she's being very insensitive. And Tony says that he's sorry he didn't tell you sooner. But these are my kids, and my kids are here to stay. And you can either deal with it or move on. And then why he turn around and look at the whole line talking about who's next? But he talking about welcome to higher learning. What in higher learning? Welcome to higher airlines. I said, how you gonna just check Danny real quick, then turn around and be professional? Child, I tell you, black folks know how to code switch like it ain't nothing. You knew what it is before you knew what it is when you signed up. Welcome to higher airlines. Who's next? Anyway, so I guess. Danny, what you gonna do? You gonna stick beside him? That's what you gonna do. All right, so Sabrina over there at the office, child Karen Page over there getting on her nerves, talking about she done overstuffed her cash drawer. You only supposed to have $20,000 in, in the drawer that's behind the counter, and Karen Page talking about you need to go ahead and recount your drawer. Sabrina, like, I'm not recounting I'm not doing none of that. Matter of fact, I got a personal phone call that I need to go take. How about you recount the drawer since you want to do everything else? Karen Page talking about, yeah, I'm always double checking your work. Chad, I would try to pull one string of her hair out. Not a whole, I wouldn't do a whole hand grab. If I could just get one piece of her hair, one little string and pull it. That's it. Because y'all know that mess hurt. Like when you just get like one string and just pull it, that mess hurt. That's like a paper cut for the scalp. Yeah, try it. Let me know. Because my daddy used to do that when we was kids. Because he played too much. My daddy played too much. He'll just come behind us and just pull a piece of our hair. That mess used to hurt. My daddy used to torture us. He was kind of mean. And he used to walk around with a piece of paper and scratch our arms and say that they hurt. Yeah, but I love my daddy. He the best, even though he was kind of mean. But anyway, so how I get off into that? Anyway, so Sabrina talking about I gotta go take my phone call. So, and I'm like, Sabrina, why you gonna leave this Karen White lady Page over there to be looking through your money drawer? Why would you do that? Like, I would have told her, don't even mind your business. That's all. Just mind your business. You ain't got nothing to do with this. But Sabrina ain't got time for it because Sabrina trying to go talk to this doctor, Dr. Moore, about freezing her eggs. So she get on a phone call with the doctor. And then the doctor, talk about the whole freezing of eggs and everything. And then she talk about the embryos. Like, so do you just want to freeze the eggs or do you want the embryos? Because it'll make it easier for you to get pregnant. And Sabrina is just like, well, now I don't have a boyfriend. I mean, I'm in a relationship. I'm in a relationship, but her boyfriend doesn't want to have kids. I was like, Sabrina, that is not your therapist. This is just a consultation with your doctor about freezing your eggs. Why you got to tell her all your business? I guess you stressed out that much. You just trying to tell anybody to listen, except for Maurice. But anyway, so she just like, well, you can go to the sperm bank. I'm like, girl, go to the sperm bank. Y'all remember when Phaedra had read Kenya Moore about that whole sperm bank thing, about the slice of pizza just so he can go ejaculate in the cup and you can have you a kid. Whew. I don't know why I just thought of that, but that was the read of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I guess Sabrina is going to the sperm bank. Unless she can go get what did Maurice call him? What did Maurice call Rich? Rich F them kids. Mr. F them kids rich. You know what I'm saying? Unless she can go get something from him, which seems like it's highly not, unless they gonna change later on in the seasons. But anyway, so she was going over everything with the doctor and she was just telling her, okay, I need you to come in because we're going to have to check your ovaries to make sure there are no fibroids, no cysts. Make sure you have a clean and healthy uterus so you can end up, getting these, either the embryos or freezing your eggs, however you going to do it. So that's pretty much that. Sabrina got to take her notes. So back over at the office, Fatima walks in again and checks on Andy and she's like, girl, how you doing? Just what's going on? And so Andy is just so confused because she's just like, I did not know any of this. And then Andy brings up the fact, like, do you know that this girl was a white girl, a little white girl? And Fatima's like, yeah, I know. Like, I know. And then you know how they do our black men. Chad, go look at Jonathan Majors. It was video proof of him running down the street from the white woman. And he still got found guilty. I guess. But it is what it is. And so Andy started to cry again. Yeah, that's pretty much what that is. She just really going there to check on Andy, how she doing. Andy get to crying about all this other stuff. And then the white lady walk in, white receptionist lady walk in, and was like, "Hey, Fatima, you got a guest." And so they trying to figure out who the guest is. Child, you didn't have to figure it out. You can hear him yelling, "Yo, baby! Yo, baby!" It's Zach. So Fatima and Zach, they gone over into her office, and he brings her flowers. Why one of them flowers was leaning? I said, because in one shot, the flower was like hanging, like it was about to fall off. So, but in the next shot, they must have took the flower off because that was looking crazy. I guess the attention to detail that I was looking at. But anyway, so he gives her the flowers, and then he mentions that he saw the acceptance letter to her getting into the school. So it looks like he went and framed it and made a big frame out of it. And then they ended up, wanting to celebrate and talk about, the kids and the wife and all this other stuff. And then he talking about he want to do some dictation to help with the representation. Child, I don't know. But she was like, not right now. Like, not right now. We can't be doing this right here in the office. And then Andy walks in. "I'm leaving. I'm going home because I'm going to break up with Jordan." And Zach is like, "What? How you doing, Andy? I'm trying to give Fatima some dictation." Anyway, so Fatima telling Zach, leave her alone. She got a lot going on. Zach don't care. Zach just like, "I'm trying to give you some dictation." Anyway, so that's pretty much it. So I'm actually happy that Fatima's worries, because she was really worried about how Zach would take it, and she was just concerned about like how this would affect their relationship and all of that stuff. So Zach really just like, "I'm here for you. Like, I'm here to work it out with you. I'm here to be with you." So I hope that helps Fatima in whatever she was thinking, her thought process. So that was pretty good to know that Zach is going to be in her corner. All right. So this must be the season of run-ups, because after Tony done ran up on Danny, now you got Jordan running up on Andy in the parking garage talking about, "I thought you would need this." Okay, because Andy like, "So you just gonna be out here in the parking garage?" But he said, "I'm gonna give you your phone and all that, whatever." And so Andy is just like, "Is this true? Is this true?" Jordan just like, "I don't even know this girl. I ain't never met this girl." And then I'm thinking, okay, so Gary is behind all of this, right? I'm like, Gary, you could at least got somebody that know Jordan. Why would you get somebody that don't even know Jordan? Because and then the girl said that she has video proof, like not video proof, but she has proof. And Jordan is like, "She ain't got no proof for me because I don't know this. Like, I ain't never met this girl. I don't know anything about it." And so Andy is just thinking about her. She's just like, "But people are whispering around the job and everybody is looking at me. Like, how does this make me look? I'm trying to go up for partner." And Jordan is like, "You gotta believe me. You gotta believe me." And I'm just thinking, like, how long are they gonna drag this out? Because if I was Jordan, I would countersue. And I don't understand why a lot of people that are in this situation don't countersue, because the way that she's coming at him, and if he has so much evidence about, "I don't know this girl, I ain't never met this girl," then just countersue and get it, because it'll make him look like this is not all on me. This is a setup, like this is a real scandal. That's what I would do. Because I remember when they had tried to come at Jamie Foxx countersued. And then even Chris Brown was like, "I'm finna countersue too." Because it's like, you coming at me on some mess, so I'm finna sue you. Just to let them know, like, you ain't playing. I'm not finna just roll over and take it type of situation. So, Jordan like, believe me. So Andy, will you believe him? All right, so now you got Tony and Danny again. Danny goes in and she apologized. And she just like, she overreacted. And she after she thought about it a little bit more, she knew he had kids, but she didn't know it was gonna be like this. And Danny's whole thing is, "You should have just given me a heads up and we could talk about it a little bit more." She just kind of want to be included, because at the end of the day, she says she gonna be a good girlfriend and she ain't gonna run, she not gonna leave, she gonna just hang in there. She gonna see what it's gonna be. And he talking about, "Oh, so you gonna be a good stepmama too?" She was like, "Don't take it that far." But my thing is this, because he said the therapy must be working. This is another thing, like I was saying, you can tell, like, I guess the writers must be new, or maybe this is evolution. I don't know what it is, but again, another thing that, they're compromising on, because at first, when they were willing not to compromise on a lot of things, the girls are compromising more and more, to where, like, what is Danny getting out of this, to dating a man with 2 kids when you don't even like kids like that? So Danny here is doing the bending. Sabrina is doing the bending. It looks like Andy, she gonna be doing the bending too. And even Fatima doing the bending. So I guess, anyway, so enough with it. All right. So Karen comes in to Sabrina's office to get a personal loan. Sabrina is like, did the lady at the desk say something to you? And then Karen is like, oh, the white lady. Well, nah, she just really was like, are you a personal friend? Child, I hope you told her you wasn't. You was just a client, because she's trying to build up any type of case against Sabrina so she can get that managerial job. And Karen is just like, oh, well, when you get the job, you can just fire her. Really? But at the end of the day, they ended up talking. Karen just starts talking about, how everything is really not going right for her right now. She's like, she really needs this loan. She just lost a stylist. The bills are through the roof. She got property tax. I was like, girl, how you got property taxes when you just said you paying rent? Make that make sense. Because normally if you paying rent, you're in a rental agreement. They just can't be jacking up stuff on you like that. So do you own the building, or are you paying rent? Because you can't pay property taxes off of something that ain't your property. This is weird. The writers need to get that part together, because that don't even make sense. And then she's talking about the baby mess, affecting her body and all of this stuff. And then they bring up Andy and Andy issues. They say they're gonna have a girls' night later on. They're gonna end up talking to her more about that. And then Karen, Sabrina, while they over there talking, Sabrina giving her, putting her information in the systems, kind of find out Karen end up getting denied for the loan. And Sabrina is like, well, Sabrina says that Andy gave her a check, and she would give it to Karen, but Karen was like, nope, that's your money. She gave you that money. She just gonna figure it out on her own. And she said she'll see her later on that night. So while Karen is leaving, then Maurice end up calling Sabrina on the phone. So while Maurice is calling Sabrina on the phone, he just like, girl, I'm just calling you to be nosy. Like, what's going on? And then as she brings up the whole freezing of the eggs and all that stuff. And then Maurice is just like, so what's going on with you? And I don't give a F about them kids, Richard. So Sabrina really don't want to talk about Richard right now. So she ends up bringing up Grayson. And so Maurice really likes Grayson. He really does. He was just saying all this stuff that he wants Grayson to do to his body. And I was like, I don't want that to happen to my body. But it is what it is. So when they end up, Maurice said he ends up getting a phone call, so he ends up getting out the phone with Sabrina. So while Maurice is on the phone doing his job, he's sitting over there talking to his clients like, I don't want to be married. Love should have brought you home last night. He talking noise to his clients, as he's supposed to do, because he's a fixation channel. And from what I understand, people like to be talked to mean while they being in the groove and in the jumping up and down on it all. And so while he's talking to his clients, making his money, Grayson walks in the door. I was like, here go another run up. I'm like, you could at least not. Like, you just gonna go up in this man's house? So he comes in with these little Kroger flowers that was $5. And he instantly is on Maurice, like, so you don't want to be married? You don't want to have a boyfriend? And Maurice is like, but I'm talking to my clients. Like, that's what they want to hear. They want to hear stuff like that. And Grayson is just like, oh, but you sounded really serious to me. And he said, well, I thought we was going to go over to listen to the jazz and all of that stuff. But Grayson don't want to listen to jazz no more. He ends up leaving. And Maurice says, I don't like jazz anyway. I'm a city girl. But my thing is, I'm like, come on, Grayson. He working. Now, I don't know what you do for a living, Grayson, but don't you know that comes with the territory? And if you're going to date this man, you have to Differentiate the real from the fake. Here we go again with some stupid stuff. Anyway, so Tamara back over there waiting on Hayden. I guess they finna have a get it in session, right? So Tamara looking at her phone, she ends up getting a phone call from Gary. Gary talking about he can't stop thinking about her lips, child, the lips at the top and the lips at the bottom. And he talking about he want a child tasting and put his tongue out through that thing. And he just want to do a lot of stuff. And he just talking about it when you with Hayden thinking about me. He talking about think about me while Hayden sliding up and down. I was like, child, Gary, you are like a real snake. And Tamara, you are too. But you know what I was thinking? I said maybe Hayden and Tamara really need, not Hayden, but Gary and Tamara really need to be together because they are both evil people. Evil people need to be with evil people. Then maybe they can really scheme together. They can plot and scheme together. Because with Gary running around here taking people credit cards and making all these fake passports and fake IDs, Tamara running around here scheming men and lawyers, I think they'll be a dynamic duo. What y'all think? I think they would be a great dynamic duo because both of them are some scammer schemers. Yeah. And they freaky. So I think they'll be great together. So when she gets out the phone again, child, Hayden walking in, she can't even, she, child, he see you putting that phone down, but, well, I saw you put the phone up under your pillow. I don't know if Hayden saw it the way I saw it, but you look like you was up to no good. And so Hayden get on top of her, he go down, and I guess she gonna think about Gary again. All right, so now this is the girls they're together over Andy's house. And so Danny asks, so are you gonna stick beside him? And Sabrina like, I can't believe this. This is very disturbing. They're all talking about Jordan and the scandal of it all. And so Karen said, well, maybe you should hear him out. And so Andy is like, Fatima said the same thing. And so then Danny is just like, I see that your minds are in sync. Anyway, so Sabrina says, so, what are you going to do? Are you going to go see him tonight? And Andy says that she doesn't know. She has to just process everything that's going on. So while they're over there talking, that's when Sabrina talks about her whole egg situation. Well, she said she had some news. Danny is like, oh, so you freezing your eggs. Sabrina has said, well, it's embryos. So everybody is trying to figure out how you going to get these embryos when we already know, Richard doesn't want, what's his name? F them kids, Richard. He don't want no kids. So they just trying to figure out like how you going to do that. And so that's when Sabrina brings up the whole sperm bank situation. And so Karen is like, well, I'm here for you, sis, whatever you gonna do. Andy said, well, she's supporter. But Danny is just like, nah, I need to see the lineup before I end up supporting any of this. Because she said that these genes are real and crazy run through genes. And they said that crazy runs through DNA and it's called epigenetics. Like, you don't know what you getting, but Sabrina talking about what she can talking about she gonna see pictures and all this other stuff. She gonna be able to hear the man's voice. I said, you don't know if a man crazy through his voice. Anyway, so while they're talking about the genetics of it all, Andy ended up getting a phone call. That's Karen cue to leave. She was like, you know what? I'm about to get up out of here. And then he like, what, you got a sneaky leak? Karen tells Danny to mind her business. Danny says she don't like her tone. And so Andy gets up, gets on the phone with Jordan. And Andy is telling Jordan, like, this is not a good time. I'm here with my girls. Jordan getting all paranoid, talking about, you gonna break up with me? She was like, no, I'm not gonna break up with you. But, she just pretty much got to process everything that's going on. Jordan said he went down to the police and the police believe him. I was like, how do police believe you that fast? Okay, well, I mean, you out, so it is what it is. Meaning they didn't keep him in police custody. He just explained his case. Andy said, so you went in there without a lawyer? And he was just like, yeah, because, you know, he don't even know the girl. He just told the police everything that he knew. So while she on the phone, the other girl, Sabrina and Danny, they end up leaving. They was talking about, well, they ain't finna clean up nothing. Let her do dish duty. And Jordan's whole thing is like he really just want to see Andy. He really want to see Andy. Andy like, no, she being rude to her girls, and she gets off the phone. I'm like, girl, you done got off the phone a little bit too late because all your guests done left. I guess. So now, now this is the end of the episode, y'all. Another confrontation that's going on between Zach, Karen, and Fatima, the throuple, the threesome of it all. So Karen gets out her car. She goes, knocks on the door. Knock, 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 knock. All right. Zach opens the door and he's just like, okay, what's up? What you want? What you doing here? And she's like, I have a DNA test lined up tomorrow at noon. Zach instantly is like, well, he was finna say he can't do it because he has his son home with him. So he's in his mind, he's just like, well, I can't. But then he just stops and was like, okay, I'll be there. What do I need to do? Karen says you don't need to do nothing. They just got to take your saliva. With me, they got to take a needle and put it into my amniotic sac and draw out fluid. Zach said, I didn't even know that they would do all that. Karen says, well, I didn't even think. You don't even care. Stop acting like you care. I'm like, Karen, you can't tell this man to stop acting stop acting like he cared just because. You can't say that you can't tell this man to stop acting like he cared just because you in your feelings right now. Because at one moment, Zach can show you that he cares, but then it's like something happens between you two, and then it's like, you don't care no way. You don't care no way. So, yeah. But just because y'all not together, it doesn't mean that Zach don't care. Because at the end of the day, that could possibly be his baby. So, while they're over there talking, Karen says, and don't you bring Fatima. And so while she was saying, don't you bring Fatima, Fatima walks up like, oh, I heard my name. And Karen is like, yeah, well, let me reiterate. I'm going to get this DNA test and we don't need you. I don't need you to be there. And Fatima like, who gonna stop me? You know, they go that whole back and forth about who gonna stop you. You better not show up. I'm gonna stop you or whatever. And so Fatima is just like, Karen says, no, Karen is like, well, you the one over here putting all this stuff in this boy's head. And Fatima's like, look, I'm about to be his wife. So at the end of the day, pretty much everything gonna run through me. It ain't got nothing to do with you. We over here together, you over there on the outside, so we gonna talk about what's going on regardless. And Fatima was like, you ain't even got no issue with me. So no, Fatima says, I'm not your issue. So whatever you got going on, you need to handle it with whoever you got your issue with. And that's when Karen is like, well, you the one over here putting all this stuff in this boy's head and all that. And so Karen is just like, look, she walking off. She was just like, don't be there tomorrow at 12 o'clock and leave your B at home. I don't know why I laughed at that. It's just the way that she said it. And Fatima was like, I got your B. But it was just funny how she was like, yeah, you be there and you leave your B at home. I was like, okay, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm just finally happy that they're actually getting a DNA test. You know, because, and then it's crazy because at one point, Fatima and Karen were cool. Like Zach said, you was over here bringing clothes over here to baby Michael. Now all of a sudden it's so much tension. And I hate that they keep writing Karen to be just some crazy person. Like, and I mean, at the end of the day, Karen, they together. They together. You're going to have to accept that. You can't be mad at Fatima for telling her man to get a DNA test. And I understand that Karen has to go through all of this because it's really not good to do that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it has to be done. And then I do hear that they do that same test with mothers that are high risk pregnancy, because they test the fluid to make sure that the baby is not, doesn't have like Down syndrome and things like that. So it's a very common test. Even though it's dangerous, it's still a common test. But at the end of the day, I just hate that the writers got them keep going back and forth. But I mean, I guess it's great for television, and it keeps the division between the audience, Fatima versus Karen and all of that. It's like, cause once you think you kind of like Karen, then she be like, don't leave your bee at home. It's like, girl, that's so unnecessary, right? But anyway, it is what it is, y'all. Let me know what, I cannot believe I did this for 41 minutes. Y'all, let me know what y'all thought about this episode of Sistas. And yeah, we'll talk about it in the comments. I know I did forget a lot. Charge to my head and my heart, and Jesus loves y'all. And y'all have a great day. Bye.